If your life is being managed through screenshots, random notes app lists, unread emails, memory, tote bags, and I'll remember later, you might be No Systems Sandra. And let's be honest, you probably will not remember later, right? No Systems Sandra is not lazy or dumb or incapable. She is usually trying very hard. The problem is that she is trying to run a full adult life without a central system. And adulthood will absolutely humble a woman who has no systems. Today, we're talking about No Systems Sandra, what she looks like, why everything feels harder when nothing has a home, and the one small system you need to start with. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kiara Ivy, aka Kiara the Concrete Rose, aka your lifestyle design bestie. And this is a series that we're doing that's part of my Adulting Is Ghetto Avatar series. It's based on my book, Adulting is Ghetto. And in this series, we are naming the patterns that make adulthood feel harder than it has to be. So, not so we can shame ourselves because we don't do that, but so we can stop calling everything a personality flaw when it might actually be a systems problem. So, today's avatar is No Systems Sandra. And Sandra is the woman who is constantly trying to get organized, but everything in her life is just scattered. She has reminders in her head, screenshots in her phone, tasks in random notebooks, emails she meant to answer, and just important papers sitting around somewhere safe, which means they may never be seen again, right? In Adulting is Ghetto, I describe Sandra like this, and I'm just going to show y'all what she looks like, okay? Sandra is always starting over. Every Monday feels like a reset. Every month feels like a scramble. Every inconvenience feels bigger than it should because nothing is organized enough to make life run with ease. She is relying on mental tabs, last minute effort, and adrenaline instead of repeatable routines and dependable structure. And that comes with a cost. So that is the whole issue. Sandra is not the problem. The lack of structure is the problem. No system Sandra remembers bills when they are already due, right? She cleans when the house becomes unbearable. She figures out dinner when she is already hungry and irritated. She looks for documents only when she needs them immediately. She returns packages late, cancels subscriptions late, responds to emails late, and then feels bad because she knows she meant to handle it. And that is the frustrating part. Sandra usually has really good intentions, right? She meant to call, she meant to pay it, she meant to schedule it, she meant to put it somewhere organized, but good intentions are not a system. And a lot of Sandra's life is reactive. She handles things once they become really loud and that once they start to stress her out. The bill becomes urgent, so she pays attention, right? The laundry becomes absolutely ridiculous and starts to overflow, so she washes. The fridge becomes completely disrespectful, so she deals with it. The email becomes embarrassing, so she finally replies. That is not peace, that is emergency management. That the reason that Sandra feels like she is always starting over is because adult life is full of recurring responsibilities and she keeps treating them like surprise events, right? Bills recur, groceries recur, laundry recurs, cleaning recurs, appointments recur, paperwork recurs, life admin recurs. If something keeps coming back, it needs a repeatable way to be handled. Otherwise, your brain becomes the system and your brain already has enough going on, right? Your brain is trying to remember passwords and bills and appointments and people's birthdays, what you came into the room for. So I want you to know that your brain needs a break and memory is really not enough. Sandra does not need a brand new personality. She needs fewer things floating around with no place to land, right? So having no systems costs money. They cost time and peace and self-trust. It costs money through the late fees and rush fees and duplicate purchases and wasted groceries and missed return windows and subscriptions you forgot to cancel, right? It costs time because you're always searching and backtracking and restarting and fixing things that could have been easier if they had just been caught earlier, right? But the biggest cost is self-trust. After a while, Sandra starts believing that she is just messy, right? Or flaky or inconsistent or just bad at adulting. And that story is extremely dangerous because once you believe you are the problem, you stop looking for the setup problem, right? You stop looking for a solution really that is systems oriented. The truth is you can be smart, capable, ambitious, and still be overwhelmed with your life because it has no structure underneath it, right? So the shift for No Systems Sandra is simple. Stop asking, why can't I get my life together? And start asking, where does my life need a system? That question moves you from shame to strategy. A system does not have to be complicated, right? A system is just a repeatable way to handle something that keeps coming back. A bill calendar is a system. A weekly grocery list is a system. One folder for important documents is a system. A Sunday reset is a system. A life admin hour is also a system. A laundry day, a designated laundry day is a system. It does not have to be cute. It does not have to be intricate, complex. It just needs to work. It needs to be functional. It needs to be realistic. This is where people mess up. They try to overhaul their entire life in one weekend. You know, they buy containers because they're obsessed with the container store. They download 3 apps, they make a color coded spreadsheet, and then they burn out by Wednesday. So Sandra does not need a full life makeover tonight. She needs one system for one recurring problem. Okay, so here is the assignment, especially if you're No System Sandra. Pick one area where you lack a system and it's costing you the most right now. Is it bills, meals, laundry, documents, appointments, emails, cleaning, your calendar, maybe your notes app? I want you to just pick one. Then create the simplest possible system for that one area. If bills are the problem, put every due date in your calendar with reminders. If documents are the problem, create one folder or drawer where important papers live. If meals are the problem, create a basic grocery list with foods you actually eat, not fantasy ingredients for the woman you becoming, for 12 minutes on Pinterest, right? Like, no, it's the real stuff that you know you're going to eat that's not going to go bad. Okay. And start where the stress is the loudest. Do not try to organize your whole life. Give one recurring problem a home. Okay. And if you saw yourself in No Systems Sandra, do not use this video to beat yourself up. Just use it as information. You are not lazy. Okay. You're not hopeless. You may just be trying to manage way too many recurring responsibilities without enough repeatable support. Okay. And once you build even one system that makes life easier, you start rebuilding your self trust. And if this avatar truly hit home for you, my book, Adulting is Ghetto, is available on Amazon, and I'll link it in the description. The book goes deeper into No Systems Sandra and the other Adulting is Ghetto avatars. And it also shares my study method for building a life that is more organized, more supported, and just less dependent on last minute miracles. So tell me in the comments, are you No Systems Sandra, and what areas of your life needs a system right now? Is it bills, meals, laundry, documents? What is it? Drop it below and stick around because we are going through all 6 of the Adulting is Ghetto avatars. Stay tuned. Bye.